All right, everyone. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jason Levine, and thank you so much for joining me today for the Friday Masterclass, where today we are going to be creating a creepy soundtrack score from, well, the concept is you could do it from any song, and today we're going in an effort to use something that everybody can probably knows, I'm going to go back to a song that you may have sung in your childhood or you know, just intimately familiar with. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Also, it's one of those public domain songs that I think we're okay using. Of course, you can't use things like Happy Birthday anymore. But this one, I think we're going to be okay. I don't think we're going to get any flags from YouTube or anywhere else. In any case, it is lovely to see you all. We're coming to you live, of course, on Adobe Live, Behance, YouTube, and Twitter. So thank you so much for joining. You can see you've got a really nice audience in here. I want to remind all of you that I will be following the live chat at Adobe Live, b.net/Adobe Live. So if you're on any of the other social destinations and I'm not seeing your questions, it's because I'm following the live chat at this location. So if you want to ask questions during the stream, this is where you should go. I'll go back to my channel at the end and answer any that are over there if anyone's still hanging around. So see you in 55 minutes or so. But that's where we're going to begin. And as always, just a couple of quick shout outs to everybody. So let's see, we've got Norsh. You were hoping for Baby Shark, but okay, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Yeah. See, Baby Shark can't do that one. We'd get a copyright strike right away. Steve, what's up? Arakia, Messayu, Gareth, Cody, Rick, Umacorn, and Tim, Gareth and William. Very nice to see you. Ferry, Arslan, Steven, lovely to see you all. Unique Gamers. It's Primera present. How are you? CL, Karin Brisa, really lovely to see you as always. All right, and coming to us over here, we've got Bradley and Daniel and Jennifer. Nice to see you too. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and we're going to get started. And I guess I need to put some headphones on. So we're going to try this today. Now, this is going to involve some live singing and some playing. It's been a while since I've done any audio things. I don't know how my voice is going to be today, to be completely honest, especially singing in the style that I need to sing, but it'll be fine. Okay, so for the video element of this, because, right, we're creating a creepy soundtrack to accompany some type of visual, I'm going back to my old standard here, my little faux Adobe Stock created thriller horror trailer that I did years ago. Back when we were streaming on Twitch, and my colleague Michael Shez helped me put this together. You'll see him in there. And I'm going to start just by kind of playing you the original that we did with this, with the original music that I scored, which is indeed pretty creepy and all that kind of stuff. I think I have all the music on. I think it's playing in this version. Let's take a look here and take a listen. Let's see what we got. Okay, so, you know, by itself, standalone with that music that's in there already, it's good and creepy. But that was just something that I just played kind of, you know, off the cuff and just using a combination of ascending chords and some dissonance. You know, it's not too difficult to create something that just sounds kind of dark and horror-like. And then anytime you add, you know, flashing light and some kind of backwards, it just kind of sells it at the end there. All right. So I took all the elements of this project and the edit, sent it over to Audition, but muted all of the original music, which you'll see down here, and instead just kept all of the sound design and some of the, you know, something is happening sound that we used for that. So if I just go ahead and play here in Audition, same video, same everything, just no music. All right. That sound design is actually pretty loud. Do I have any of that on a bus? I don't think so. Probably not. take a very long time to do a new mix of all this, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. But we're going to start first just by introducing a little bit of a pedal tone so I have something to sing against. Now, let's talk about kind of the technique and what we're wanting to do here. So the whole idea behind this is if you've watched any movie trailers in the last 5 or so years, maybe it goes back even a little longer, and particularly I think films like Maleficent have done this. I think even one of the old school Harry Potter trailers may have done it. I don't know. But there've just been about easily a dozen films in the last 5 to 10 years or so where they'll take, you know, a seemingly bright and happy song. I'm thinking, I can't remember if this was Maleficent or not. Someone in the chat speak up. You'll probably know. But I remember one of the ones that I remember first hearing was like, or this wasn't one of the first ones, but it was one of the better ones. I Started a Joke, which is a song by the Bee Gees, right? I started a joke, that's the whole world crying. Okay, so the way that you do this, what we're going to do, the way that you take any song and turn it into something creepy is, first of all, you just have someone sing it a cappella, and I saw Tim mention this in the chat before, with a lot of reverb. All right, so very echoey, very spacious, and typically in kind of a breathy, high-pitched voice. Now, I could really deliver this if I were kind of in the voice and in the zone. Friday, 10:30 a.m. with no vocal rehearsal, it's just not going to happen. So it'll be what it's going to be. But that's the first step, is you want to sing a cappella against a pedal tone. So I got to put on something that'll give me, these are chimes, that's not going to be great for pitch, but some kind of pedal tone, and you sing against that. And then you add the root element of whatever the root chord is for that song, along with either the fourth above the root or the fifth. But instead of playing it above, you play it down below, which creates this sort of tension, all right? And then over time, you just gradually increase instrumentation. Again, you can gradually ascend notes in pitch across different instruments. And you'll see that very quickly, it just starts to build this really weird, ethereal, creepy kind of soundtrack. So, case in point, taking something like, you know, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I'm sorry, I'm just moving over here. All right, and I'm playing this in G today, so. Right? Seemingly happy, we're going to turn that into something dark and creepy against this creepy video, all right? So we're going to... Umacorn, yes, you should try this, and you can absolutely follow. This is very, very simple. And I would even say that the more rough, you know, the performance or the sound is, you might actually get an even better, creepier sounding result. So now this is not going to be something which will necessarily be in the track, but I need to add my pedal tone first. And this is just so that I can hear pitch, because the next thing I'll do is I'm going to sing the lyric a cappella, again with some nice reverb there, just to kind of help me, you know, create kind of the soundscape, right? We're creating this sort of atmospheric sound, and I'll show you that real quickly. But first, the pedal tone. So we are using... Today we've got the, here, wait, where's the other camera so you can see? Not that one. Yeah, here we go. Oh, you can't even really see it, of course. So this is the Yamaha. I've got a Kurzweil down here. All right, so this is where we're going to be playing music. Let's go ahead and arm my track. Go back to the desktop. Man, my Stream Deck is really delayed today. I don't know what's happening. Why is this not switching? It's taking forever. Let's go ahead and set this to the correct input, which I believe is 7/8. Yep, okay. And that's probably coming through somewhat quietly. In fact, I'm even going to put, just for the stream, let me go ahead and stick a little ultra maximizer on there just to make things a little bit louder for you. That might be a little too much. Let's do this. It's not a lot of volume. Are you hearing that okay? I'll increase this a little bit more. All right. It'll be fairly faint. Again, this is just a background element. And I'm going to use, I kept the kick drums in here, if you take a listen. And in fact, I'm going to turn some of this off. I don't need all of that, all right? So you can hear I've got the kick drums in there. The reason for that is I'm actually using those kick drums that I already laid in, and this was based against the visual cuts, so this isn't an exact tempo. It's somewhat in tempo. It's fairly even. It wasn't done to a metronome. It's just based on how I was feeling the cuts when we did this years ago. I'm going to use that as my tempo gauge, but this is just going to stand as a pedal tone just so that I can sing in tune, all right? So let's just go ahead and lay this in. All right, here we go. Okay. Just with the sound design and that pedal tone, it already kind of sounds kind of creepy, right? So what I was saying before, by the way, so this is in the key of G, all right? When we start adding in some of the strings and the other instrumentation, I'm going to take a fourth below, which would be C, right? And let that linger down below. And then you just start ascending chromatically. Okay? All right. 100% having nightmares. It's my pleasure, Howard. You're welcome. You get it for free. All right. You're hilarious. Okay. And Ferry is watching it in the dark. Oh, good. Okay. So we've got the pedal tone. Let me just make sure that recorded. By the way, some of these sound effects are still really loud. Perfect. Okay. Those kick drums are also kind of loud for me. So I'm going to turn those down just a touch. And let's go ahead and set it up for the vocal. Okay. So for this, now again, because I've got this particular Kurzweil on, which it's got disk drives, hard drives in it, and disk drive, and fans, and it's 20 years old, and you can kind of hear it already. Sounds like a jet engine. I am not, of course, recording this vocal in the way that I would normally do that, nor would I also probably use the Sennheiser to do that. It's not my typical vocal mic, but it'll be fine for today. So I'm singing up here. And again, I'm going to try and implement this kind of breathy, more wispy sound. All the while trying to do this timed against the kick drums so that it fits. And I did test it earlier, and it should be exactly the correct duration. And yes, Cody, that was Michael Shez. Do you not remember this from way back in the day? Oh my God. Yeah, no, don't get too excited, Cody. The singing today, it's it's not me. It's not my usual voice. All right. Christy, yes, Halloween, my favorite too. favorite holiday by far. Okay. So one of the things that I was saying to really sell this idea, now I'm just using this for monitoring, but we'll use this in the final too, is you have to have a decent amount of reverb or echo. This is how you kind of create that sound. Lana Del Rey, in one of the last Maleficent movies, she did this. I can't remember it was some like Disney song, a super happy song. You know, Lana Del Rey, anything she sings, you know, sounds like it's End of Days, right? It's just kind of her style. I happen to really like Lana Del Rey's singing style. So, you know, it's sort of mid-ragey, a little kind of this rage, and then echoey and just sort of dreamy and ethereal. Again, check out the Maleficent trailer if you don't know what I'm talking about. And if you search for Maleficent, I can't remember it was like the third movie, but it's Maleficent, Lana Del Rey. You'll find it. Super creepy. All right, so we're going to start out with some Great Hall reverb. I've modified this ever so slightly. I didn't change the room decay, so it's about 6 seconds of decay. I added some early reflections. I minimized some of the damping, and I increased the wet signal. So when I turn this on to monitor here, this is probably going to get pretty loud. Let's see. Now, hold on. Do I have this on the right input? Yes. All right. Let's see. And we're not getting anything in there, which is odd. Why am I not seeing any signal from that vocal mic? I don't know. Let's try and change the input and see if that's going to fix it. Okay. And go to mono. 5. Oh, and you know what? This needs to be a mono track anyway. Let me do a new mono audio track. Call this vocal. While I'm doing this, people always ask that question. Oh, well, if I'm recording with a single input, should I record into a stereo track? I mean, you can. A lot of it depends on how Audition or any audio sees your input device. Some things will just duplicate mono audio into both channels. Some cases, like because I'm going through my Focusrite here, it sees this as a single mono input. So if you chose to record it as stereo, you're going to have audio on the left side because this is channel 5, but the right accompanying pair of that side, channel 6, would be blank. So I want to do this as mono. And let's go ahead and put back here. I like this little preset, so we're going to call this Lana DR. This is my Lana Del Rey preset. Let's get rid of this track. Delete selected track. And come over to here. All right, I'm going to grab my studio reverb. Lana DR. Go into record monitor. There we go. Okay. All right. Now again, you're hearing all the noise in there. And if I were to take off the wet signal, now you're just hearing the dry. But it's really about having that very echoey, very ethereal kind of sound. Tim Mobies, can you still apply stereo effects to a mono track? Absolutely. So stereo effects to a mono track is a given, and this is a common practice. Applying a stereo effect, let me rephrase that. You can do that if you should have the track configuration match. So in other words, if you have a mono audio file, but you want to use stereo effects, stick that mono audio file in a stereo track, okay? Don't apply a stereo effect on a mono track. It does weird things. And you'll notice this if you try and, in fact, it's particularly weird with a lot of third-party plugins. So you can use, if you have a mono track like we're doing for this vocal, and you want to use mono effects, apply it that way. In this case, we're using a mono reverb on here, and that's fine. I could also use a stereo reverb, but because I'm recording this into a mono track. It's just, an Audition lets you do it in both ways. It's a little confusing. Short answer is yes, you can do that, but the track configuration should match what the effects are. So in other words, if you want to use stereo effects, you can put a mono file on a stereo track and use stereo effects. That's the best practice. Okay, so let's go ahead and ramp this up. Got to drink some water here. Is it low? All right, let me increase this a little bit more. How's that? It's gonna be very loud for me. Okay. Sounded like he wanted to give a speech in high school. Okay. I have to get into a creepy voice now. Okay, remember, not my finest performance. Okay, hold on a sec. Here we go. Okay. Let's see if we can get this going. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Okay. All right. So I actually wanted that to happen one bar earlier, but it kind of works. All right. let's see. All right. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll creep somebody out today. Okay. Simple. Now, if you want to do, you know, there's a lot of things that we could do here with just that vocal line, all right? So if I wanted to do something like here, I'm going to add another mono audio track. I'm just going to duplicate this vocal, all right? One of the things that you can do, I'm not going to do it here, but this is just another technique if you're trying to add, again, some real creepiness, is you can add like, you know, pitch effects. And you can pitch down, you know, up or down to augment, overlay the main vocal. Adding some, you know, filters and effects and things as well. So that would be a full octave above if we were to do an octave below. Oh, that's really messed up sounding. Okay, let's do that. So, and I wanted it a bit more wispy, but you know, frankly, I'm just not going to get that with my voice today, so that's okay. Why is this not letting me change? What's happening? This is not letting me change the preset. There's nothing in record. What are you doing? That's not letting me do it either. Oh. Okay. All right. So let's just adjust our settings here since it's not letting me do what I want to do. Fine. Now this one, I don't want a terrible amount of dry signal at all, and I don't want this to be very loud either. Okay, now before we move on from here, all right. Yeah, no, I shouldn't have to do anything in real time. It should just allow me to do it. It only doesn't let you change the preset if you're in record mode. So, but I've been having weirdness with Audition all morning, so I don't know. Not going to troubleshoot that now. Mary had... All right, so let's do... Oh, and I had my speakers playing back. That was dumb. Okay, so that bled onto here. That's fine. I'm going to add just a little bit of noise reduction on here, just to get rid of some of the fan noise. I didn't realize my speakers were on, so it captured that through the mic. Good job. Mary had a little lamb. That's good, just to get rid of some of the hiss. And I will use some track EQ for this. All right, just to, again, give this a little bit of a more wispy sound. Mary had a little lamb. There's a little more presence at 8K. Little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Mary. Okay, very good. All right. So that's coming together nicely. So now we've got the vocal, we've got the doubled vocal on here. We had And while I'm at it, I'm going to use the same noise reduction on this one. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's the same file. I don't even have to do that. Duh. I just copied it. Okay, that makes life easy. All right, so this is going to be low Vox. All right, let's shrink this up, shrink that up. All right, and now let's go into timpanis. Timpani chimes. All right, so that's going to be our next thing. So now I got to figure out if I want to actually use the timpani or keep keep the kick drum as the pulse. The timpani sounds really cool. It might be nice and dramatic at the end. These are really coming in quite low. I don't know why that's coming in so low. We hear Jason in crescendo. Yes, gain push at the end, exactly. If you add the reverb to a bus, you can have more control with the effect. Yeah. I mean, in this case, I'm just using it to preview on the track. If I were to actually, when it comes time to mix, yes, I would mix this through the bus, not necessarily using the reverb on the track itself. What was weird is it wasn't letting me. Yeah, see, now it's allowing me to change the preset. It wasn't a minute ago, and we're in the same state. The only difference was I had a selection. I wonder if that is something to do with it. No? Yeah, I have no idea why. That shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened, but it did, so that's fine. Okay. All right, so let me play this for a second and see what I want to do here. And it does sound like a war drum. Wait till I play it for real. Okay, let's see what we got here. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, All right, that's all right. I'm gonna stick it in there. Here's what I'm gonna do. I gotta mute these steps. Stuff's throwing me off. Let's put this up here. I'm gonna mute that stuff because it's distracting me. The screams are distracting me. Okay, so let's use that. The fly sound is fine. And yeah, let's go ahead and add some timpanis. Sin Lagos is convinced. What's up, Sin? Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, Mary had a little lamb whose I mean, I can't use the kick drums if I'm going to leave those in there, so let's see if this works now. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, Mary had a little lamb whose let me do one more take of that. That was not great. Okay. Juan Cedeñas, how you doing? All right. John Williams, drums really kicked it up a notch. Heartbeat, footsteps, scary. Right? Yeah. And that's what that kick drum is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a heartbeat. So exactly, yeah. In fact, I think at one point we actually did put a heartbeat in there, but it wasn't quite punchy enough, so I just switched it to a kick drum. But it's supposed to be the same thing. All right. Also, this is not the... One of these... Oh, I think it's with the pedal. I don't have my pedals connected. One of these you can roll with the pedal. It's just a little hard. It's not that it's hard to do. It just doesn't sound as realistic. If you do bra, it's fine, but it's the constant roll doesn't sound as good. It's all right. And I'm trying to follow these damn kicks. Okay. Let's get this better. Nuts. This will be stuck in everyone's head today. The worst vocal I've ever done. Okay, here we go. The other one was better. Okay. Chimes. Let's add some chimes in there. Okay. Let's get rid of this. I'm going to mute this for a second. We'll keep the kick drums in there. Add some creepy chimes. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. How's our time? We've got 23 minutes. All right. We'll be able to do this in 23 minutes. Okay, here we go. We're going to keep that as it is. Don't even need to check it. Probably just drop the volume a little because it's loud. And I'm going to take this one out. We're going to go with that original timpani. Let's see how that does. Yeah, see, some of these are better than others. Yeah, so we're going to get rid of this one. I'm just going to do a little bit of enveloping here. That's a good one, so we'll keep that. We're going to get this out of here. That one was garbage. All right, so let's see. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go on to some strings. This is where comfort meets turmoil, all right? Nice Bernadette Carey. Have the lambs finally stop screaming, Clarice. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to drop... The kick shouldn't really be in there at all. I'm kind of just leaving it for now for time. We'll see if maybe we have it in there just ever so subtly. Okay. you can't hear the samples when we're playing them. I mean, you can't hear me? Oh, until I arm record, you mean? Yes. Okay, hold on. Let's get to our strings here. It's not even English. I don't know what word that was. All right. Here we go. Input 7. There we go. Let's just see. I need to do a little test on here just to listen. Let's do a test recording. It was okay. Not great. Let's just solo that for a second. Save that. Let's drop the volume here. All right, let's see how we're doing so far. And let's see, should I take out the kick for right now? Yeah, let's mute that for a second and see what we got. That went a little long, my bad on that, but that's okay. We'll fade this in advance. Yeah. All right. Okay, now I've got some sforzando strings here. All right, so let's do SFZ. STRG. All right, so these are going to add a little more color. I will play these a little higher and maybe add some effects to these as well. All right, let's see if this is going to work. Ah, Bernadette, you're very kind. All right, let's see. Oh, and you know what? Hold on. Before I do that, there was something else I wanted to do, which is, hold on, I'm going to make another stereo track here. And we're going to just add, let's do a Glockenspiel. So this is yet another, so we're talking about common techniques. So if you want to add emphasis to the melody, all right, and again, in the spirit of this kind of creepy, atmospheric, loose music composition, if you use something really percussive and high-pitched, like a Glockenspiel, so we're talking 2 octaves higher than the vocal itself, it just adds this really weird quality because it's this very orchestral-sounding instrument which cuts through everything. And it's just going to add a really nice, you'll see, it's going to add just a really nice feel. I think of, if anybody remembers, The Crazy World of Arthur Brown on their first self-titled LP. They have this a song called Time and Confusion. And it's this really, the whole album's dark and creepy, but you hear these like, which you can't hear right now because I don't have it solo. There you go. You hear these really creepy melodies, and they're all Glock, and it just works. It just kind of glues things together. So I'm going to try and double the melody. So to do that, I need to follow the melody a little more closely. So I'm actually going to look at the melody here as I'm playing this, so I can kind of just get a better idea. Let's see if I can knock this out. And we'll put the kick back in so I have my metronome. And here we go. Now, if you're like, wait a second, he just played a flat 7 and a major 7. Yes, on purpose, just to add a little more dissonance. All right, probably even fade that out before it even gets there. Just a little. Okay, but you see what I mean? It just adds this extra little creepy quality to it. Oh wait, sorry, I just faded the vocal, not the Glock. Let's do that here. All right. It just adds a little creepiness to it that I think really works. Okay. Oh, we're so close. We're really getting there. Okay. So this is all sounding pretty good, as rough as it is. So while we're doing that, Norska, getting goosebumps here. Very nice. Okay, getting creepier and creepier. Giggling young children in the distance with lots of echo. You're not going to try this anymore, Umacorn? Oh, no, come on. I believe in you. Do it. Do it, do it. Okay. We need more strings. So I said I was going to do sforzando. So let's go to that now. And the point of these is to really add tension and dissonance. So I'll start slightly in key. Maybe playing, actually I'll probably start with the 4th, like I suggested. But then gradually add more dissonance and go into actual, like, diminished, versions of the chord, and hopefully that'll get us to where we want to go. Didn't quite stick the landing there, but we're going to achieve that by doing a volume ramp. All right, we'll drag this whole thing down and then have it crescendo to right about here, and then just drop out. Give it even a little bit more. Okay, and last but not least, I see I keep going in and out of camera here. Sorry for that. Here, I'll put it back to this one so you can see at least my head for a second. Let's get some horns. I saw someone asking what MIDI or whatever I'm using, and thank you, Tim Bransing. Yes, Audition does not do MIDI, but I'm just using all the native sounds on the Kurzweil, so I'm not even using VSTIs for this. It's just brass, input 7, French horn. Actually, French horn could be great. Okay, we will do a French horn. We have enough time. We're going to do a French horn, but I want to do an orchestral brass first. Ooh. Where's my Oh no, wrong song. Okay. All right, let's go back to the desktop here. And now again, not all these things are going to come in at the beginning. So I'll have the brass start somewhere in the middle there. Probably have the French horns start towards the beginning. So this will be the last two instruments we're going to add here. All right, here we go. Let's add some brass. Okay. And same with this one, you know, probably do this kind of a wash and effects. You know, we don't really want a lot. I want some of the direct sound in there, and these horns already have, they already have reverb as part of the patch. But what I want to do is just give it a slight wash, so that you're hearing really not as much of the direct and just more reverberant. But again, there's already wet on here, so let's see what this balance sounds like. Actually, let's just hear what dry sounds like. It's not really doing what I want with this reverb. Okay, and then to top that off, I'm going to stick a little analog delay on there. All right, and we want mostly dry, a little bit of wet. Too much feedback. Try this again. Almost. Let's see. Yeah. So we're trying to trash the end of the signal, right? So that the reverberation and the continuous repeats get gradually dirtier and trashier. And that, yeah, that actually kind of works. Give this an overall volume drop. Okay. And last thing we're going to do here, we're going to do the French horns. So they're real nice because they just provide a really smooth, kind of silky element. All right. All right. Very cool. All right. Let's see. All right. We've got 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. So these are French horns. All right. And we'll go into input 7. Okay. And these strings need to start out a little quieter too. So I'm going to drop that down because that was way too loud. Yes. Okay. One more time with the kick, so I just have kind of the pulse in there. I'm going to turn off the timpanis. Here we go. Okay, so now we got 3 minutes to mix this sucker. Okay? Yes. Okay. It's coming together. I'm amazed. Okay, so first we're going to take the kick out. We're going to bring the timpanis back in. Let's put the vocals next to each other. And let's just start first with these 4. We're just going to solo these 4 and try and kind of balance these out. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose face was bright as snow. All right, not bad. Now let's see, do we, I'm wondering, maybe we'll leave a little bit of the pedal tone in there. It might be kind of nice. Just a little bit. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose face was bright as snow. Okay, let's bring the strings in here. Now I'm going to do the strings and the vocals together with the Glock. Kind of get a balance between those. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose face was bright as snow. Okay, and all that's left, real quick, our tremolo strings, and, oh sorry, the brass and the French horns. That's it, that's all we got left, okay. So where does this brass come in? the end. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's put everything in. Ah, it's so beautiful. We don't have brass. Huh, okay. Let's do strings 4. Let's see what that sounds like. And wet dry is. Give it some drive. All right, and we're going to be out of time, friends, so let's play it. Here it is. Creepy music. All right. Well, we've already ended the stream. I didn't even get to say goodbye. That's how it goes sometimes. 30 seconds too late. In any case, thanks for sticking around. I'll answer your questions over at my channel. Hope you've had a good one. Take care, everybody. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.